Cinbears are an open species that live in the forest. Despite their name, they are not related to bears. Cinbears are a predator species that normally prey on mice, meows, and cats/dogs. Cinbears are usually 3 to 4 feet tall, about as tall as your average child. Cinbears have an mimosan pad under their head and a speech bubble replacing one of their eyes. They both serve the same purpose, to tell what a mouse in the Cinbear is feeling. It could be emoticons, symbols, or anything else really. They can also not have it entirely, but this is really rare. Cinbears usually travel alone rather than in groups. They might attack each other if they notice another Cinbear. Cinbears typically live 5 to 15 years, but can live longer or shorter. There's also a mechanical version of Cinbears that are herbivores and normally feast on plants and berries. These Cinbears are normally domesticated and live as pets. Mechanical Cinbears also normally have a type of chemical they need to survive. If you're lucky, it'll just be like O2 or H2O. Mechanical Cinbears still feel the need to hunt, even though they don't need to, because it's just an instinct. Mechanical Cinbears usually have 2 metal plates behind their ears, and 1 metal plate that their tail comes out of. Mechanical Cinbears and regular Cinbears typically have brown as one of the colors in their color palette. Regular Cinbears can also be domesticated, but it takes a lot more effort than getting the mechanical one. Regular Cinbears typically live in the dark areas of forest, and typically have a darker color palette that doesn't make them stand out as much. Clans are an interesting thing with Cinbears. They usually don't appear for mechanical Cinbears, but are really common among normal Cinbears. Clans typically indicate what region or forest a Cinbear lives or used to live in. There are currently 5 different clans and 1 custom option for custom things, planet things, The Heartbreak Clan is the first clan. These Cinbears typically live near Europe and are typically more gloomy than your average ones. The Water Clan is the second clan. These Cinbears typically living in the Americas. These Cinbears are typically more isolated than the other ones, and if they have powers, it will mostly be water-based ones. The Crystal Clan is the third. These Cinbears typically living near colder areas, and typically being more active and outgoing than other ones. The fourth is the Fire Clan. These Cinbears typically living in Africa or areas near it. These Cinbears are typically more aggressive than other ones, and if they have powers, it'll be fire powers. The last is the Eclipse Clan. These Cinbears typically living on islands. They are more frightful than your average ones, and if they have powers, it'll be either based on the sun or based on the moon. And that's about it. Leave additional questions in the comments below. Yeah.